Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Finals here in PyeongChang. Some incredible results so far. Scarlett with a 3-0 lead against SOS in a best-of-7.
This is maybe the craziest finals that we've ever seen. Generally, the Koreans are considered the best players in the world. They win almost all of the top international tournaments. And even when we have someone not from Korea win, it's not like this. 3-0, he hasn't even won a single game against her so far.
That's right. It's not just an international player taking on any player from South Korea. It's SOS, who financially has been the most successful StarCraft 2 player of all time. We will shortly be moving into game number 4 here. Either Scarlett takes this or SOS begins a full reverse sweep, winning 4 games in a row. Scarlett's already shown a wide range of play styles, coming from insane tactical maneuvers right at the start of the game to close it, to going to a very, very, very late econ game and closing it out with fights occurring all over the map that she ultimately shuts down in every corner and then goes for the kill.
Well, if she finishes him off here, that is such a big victory for Scarlett. The biggest of her career by far, and definitely heralding a huge year for the Canadian Zerg player.
So much pressure on SOS. The world, but especially South Korea watching. StarCraft is synonymous with South Korea. This game has been incredibly popular here for 20 years. And at this moment, the throne may be taken. Scarlett may, in fact, crush through here in, honestly, one of the craziest upsets in esports history, especially with results like this so far, at least.
And let's not forget, if SOS can come back, if he can reverse all kill Scarlett here, that's another record all its own.
Introducing our players in the upper left, in the blue, from Canada, she is Scarlett! And her opponent here in the bottom right, in the red, from South Korea, he is SOS!
So our map on this crucial game where SOS must win or he is swept by our Canadian player Scarlett. It is Acid Plant.
That's right. I am really not sure what exactly Scarlett's going to do, and the reason why I'm saying that is because, honestly, she looks like a Zerg version of SOS this series. She's pulling off so many different play styles, and I think one of the key things, and let's just subtract Game 2 because that was a little bit different, but certainly in Game 1 and Game 3, Scarlett took the initiative, which really meant that if SOS had a strategy, Scarlett acted early, or I should say so early on, that SOS did not get to do what he planned for.
Yeah. Well, he's got to have a very special plan here. You know, again, if he were to come back and win this, a reverse all-kill in the finals of a tournament in a best-of-7 after going down 0-3 and then winning has only happened once in all of StarCraft 2's history.
That's right.
Yes.
And that was, what, 3 or 4 years ago? Correct?
That was, I believe, 2013 is the last time that happened. So that is a long time ago. It's something very rare to stop this momentum that Scarlett has. But SOS is the type of player that can shake something like this off, play his best games, and just treat this like a fresh series.
Well, he's going to have to. Certainly, if there's a player who can pull it off, it is SOS. He's done so many things. He's bended so many rules in StarCraft 2. But can he really do the rule bending in a series like this and overcome a player whose condition seems to be so good that she looks almost unstoppable? Scarlett getting to this point through, I think what most would agree was the hardest section of the bracket. In some ways, SOS is actually one of the easier parts of the bracket. But the truth of the matter is that she is not, it is not a fluke that she's here, and she's proving that right now.
Certainly right about that. Stargate on the way for SOS. But Scarlett, let's see if she's going to get aggressive here. Making a few extra Zerglings, nothing too weird about that. Her speed upgrade is about to finish. but she's getting Evolution Chamber. This could just be for a quick upgrade, but she could go for some harassment as well, like we saw in that previous game, dropping some Zerglings in the main base. If she does this game, though, it's only for a little bit of damage. It's not as aggressive as it was previously.
No, the aggressive play in Game 3 was actually pretty remarkable. The way she was pulling towards the entrance to the natural and then looping back up. And once she got the drop into the main, she then looped back down to get a surround on the gateway that broke the wall and ultimately allowing too many Zerg units to simply put spill in and costing SOS the game.
So he's getting ready to spot something like this incoming. The pylon finishes. She turns the Overlord. We don't know if he actually saw this yet. Looks like he sees it now, though.
The Overlord is gone too far now. She will be unloading. And it looks like initially this will come in, but the Oracle stays back to try to defend, and this puts Scarlett in a bit of an awkward spot.
Yeah, and with the Phoenix here to shoot it out of the sky, this is not going to end up doing any real damage. It keeps all of these flying units at home, so in a way it's defended against what SOS wanted to do with them, but not really, you know, finding any probe kills or anything like that like Scarlett hoped.
The Oracle should now go up and try to do some scouting. By the way, we have 3 more gateways being added. I don't know. Well, actually, with the Warp Prism coming up here, perhaps we will see SOS try to be the initiator. As so many games, Scarlett has been the one to try to push out and do some damage.
Well, it does look like SOS wants to get aggressive this game. You know, grab a couple of Archons for that massive amount of damage, and some Zealots, maybe with a charge upgrade, to just do damage to Scarlett, try to kill off maybe the 3rd base, get a few drones here and there, get an early advantage.
As this game moves on, we see 22 Zerglings being made here. A Baneling's nest, excuse me, about halfway done. Artosis, are we going to see some aggression here from Scarlett? I think so.
It has to be. 2 Overlords with drop are being created here. So this is for Queens and probably some Banelings as well. But, oh man, this is going to be a really big drop coming out. This is going to be hard for SOS, but he's making a lot of gateways. He's going to have some Archons. This is definitely holdable.
Phoenix also spotting this will be handy as well. We have that Warp Prism now coming back as SOS needs to bring everything that SOS has together in order to hold this initial attack here from Scarlett.
All right, the Oracle coming back for this defense as well. It looks like this Sentry might be picked off, a very valuable unit, so that is a painful loss. But with this Warp Prism coming back with the Archons, this base will not die right now.
But Scarlett is not done yet, now morphing many more Banelings, although this is spotted by SOS. Scarlett now unloading her Queens, beginning to target down the Archon. Good covering because Scarlett actually lost the rest of those Banelings that are being made to bombard SOS. This game could look very different, but SOS still with pretty good positioning seems to be hanging on.
Oh, wow, these Zerglings coming in, trying to deal damage to the Archons while the Queens tank all their damage. A very nice move here from Scarlett. Can she actually force him back? It looks like he will cancel that 3rd base, so he's starting to panic a little bit.
Okay, so being isolated from his 3rd, Scarlett decides to press further forward, and now coming out, she's going to try to come in here and break this position. We have a drop over here on the workers. So far, no kills, though.
Yeah, it might be a few right there. That Baneling's going to do a lot of damage.
Okay, no kills, but they're all badly damaged. If Scarlett can actually manage to break in here, she will shut down this game.
Oh man, Scarlett right now trying to push forward. These Overlords are very low in health, so she has to be careful. In the meantime, back at home, she's continuing to tech up. She's getting a Rotor and getting her lair, making some more drones as well, while SOS is stuck back here on 2 bases.
A drop headed towards the main, hoping to catch SOS off guard, is headed right towards these workers. We see a warp incoming. The workers not yet evacuated. There they go now.
Dropping out these Banelings. It looks like that won't be very much damage to SOS as he defends beautifully against this drop.
SOS, any moment that he had made a mistake back there, he could have lost a huge number of workers. And already the action seesaw is now back to the north side of the map as SOS is trying to put on some pressure of his own.
Oh, look at this great defense by Scarlett. She already has her Queens back. She already has her Zerglings back. SOS trying to get damage done, but again, a perfect defense. It's like Scarlett is reading his mind.
It's crazy the way Scarlett is moving on this map. She is everywhere. We now see another attack coming out from SOS. It's in the center left. It was moving further that direction, but then turns around as SOS appears to be planning to regroup here, possibly to push in towards the area between the second and the third. You could see it's almost as if SOS is feeling out the map, trying to find an opening. And it looks like Scarlett was in fact planning on expanding here. This should be shut down. No, apparently SOS goes by to really try to break into the third base.
This is a really powerful army that SOS has right now. Scarlett still making so many units, but with those sentries, SOS should be able to dictate this battle. Some great force fields going down, blocking Scarlett's army way back.
Scarlett, though, continuing to press through here at the north. With these force fields placed down there, SOS is basically able to block off a huge number of Scarlett's army and continue to do more damage.
Some of the units are spilling through right now, dealing damage. The Archon gets pulled back when it's very low in health. More units being warped in here.
Scarlett comes down here now from the south, doing so much damage, but SOS seems to be pushing through a little bit further. Now that base down in the fourth location has not been taken out, which is important because if Scarlett actually holds this, she still has a fourth base up and running, whereas SOS is only just now reclaiming his third.
Yeah, that would be a big deal. That's definitely an issue here. If SOS could kill that off, that would at least be something. But as is, he's having a hard time breaking in.
By the way, Scarlett sending some Zerglings down southbound. She actually pulls them back, deciding she needs these to try to help defend and hold SOS off in this position.
Force field goes down. SOS attacking in here once again. Just beautiful concave here from SOS, dealing as much damage as he possibly can, picking off so many units. These Immortals dealing massive damage to the Roaches.
Most of the Archons and Immortals are still alive, but SOS does drive, or is driven down rather, to the low ground here. Again, it's Scarlett hanging on. SOS has not really managed to make what I would say is a substantial dent economically into Scarlett, but now SOS, I think perhaps regretting not paying more attention to that location there, sees that the fourth base is finished, and Scarlett looking to possibly try to get us around here. Really, SOS is abusing the fact that he's in this valley.
Yes.
And there's no way for Scarlett to come in and surround.
Oh, he's trying to pick off that hatchery. If he gets a kill on that base, that is a huge deal. We see that Scarlett coming up trying to defend, but I think, oh yes, he gets this base, and finally SOS showing some life in this series.
After all that maneuvering back and forth, SOS does manage to destroy that location. Scarlett's now trying to push out and wipe out the remaining forces, but I think that was actually an overextension right there. Again, Scarlett has to keep her head on her shoulders here. This game is not over yet, although I have to say SOS with an impressive push out has done the damage he needed to do. So until Scarlett can reclaim that expansion that was denied, it is 3 base to 3 base in this game.
SOS's unit control here has been remarkable, keeping his units alive, dealing maximum damage with them at every turn. It's really quite a spectacle to behold because the defense of Scarlett has been on point. She's had her units in the right places, but SOS is pushing through, is forcing damage.
Okay, a great hold here by SOS, trying to just get in this area right above to perhaps poke out. And Scarlett, she has to be careful. She may be overextending. Getting in a fight off of the creep like this could be quite bad.
Ooh, she has a few Banelings in that Overlord. She wants to drop that on top of the sentries to see if she can knock those out. That would be a huge deal to take out some crucial units in SOS's army, but he's being so careful, just not letting Scarlett do anything she wants here.
Nice drop over here to try to kill some workers, but Scarlett seems to be interested now in trying to push out. And here comes that drop right on top of the army, unloading and doing a ton of damage, taking out many of those sentries.
Oh, Scarlett pushing through right now. So many Roaches and Ravagers, but these Immortals dealing massive damage. A Warping of Zealots comes from SOS. Can he hold on against this massive Zerg army?
It seems like he's just barely hanging on, but some of the Immortals already so damaged, if any more are picked up. In fact, it's basically just Immortals now. It's just the backbone of the army, no other meat with that. And from there, SOS decides to pull out and return home. That was a skirmish that went on for, I think, a total of 5 minutes, Artos, as they were boxing each other back and forth around the map. But SOS, I'd say, overall, still coming out on top.
That is as intense as it gets, and I definitely do agree with you there. He was at a big deficit at the start, but here he is. He's killed a base, he's killed a huge amount of units, and kept his Immortals alive. And that is the most important unit in the game right now. They are so strong against the Roaches.
A Spire now coming down for Scarlett, indicating that she's going to be going for air. SOS really making a lot happen with these two Immortals. And actually keeping some central control here. SOS has not expanded further, so he's really just trying to keep the pressure on. With supplies fairly even, this is going to be tough because SOS basically has control of this high ground area and can abuse the ramp, making it hard for Scarlett to really win a fight.
Wow, we just saw that that unit's lost have one Immortal dying for 90-something roaches. He's attacking in once again. SOS trying to push his advantage right now. Scarlett losing a lot of units. Those Immortals dealing so much damage. A ton of zealots being warped in from behind. Those reinforcements going to help out massively.
The damage seems to be going up exponentially as the 4th base location is being given up here by Scarlett. Scarlett trying to come down with anything else she has, but there are just too many Immortals. GG! SOS wins his first game, putting us at 3-1. Scarlett still in the lead, but that was a brilliant game. And talk about a lot of action right there at the exterior of Scarlett's expansions. Yeah. SOS exhibiting so much discipline, so much patience, not overextending. Eventually, SOS feigned trying to push the 4th loop back up, knowing that the 3rd base of Scarlett was damaged enough he could just snipe it and get out free.
Wow.
That's what he did, and he won the game, and that means we will now go into game number 5.
I tell you, he won that game, but it was a battle the whole way. SOS had to work for it. But just him keeping his calm, his cool, down 0-3 and looking like he might lose game number 4 shows you the type of champion that SOS is. Scarlett cannot let up. She must maintain this level of play to knock SOS out of PyeongChang.
It's worth noting how exhausting game number 4 was for both players.
Yes.
And they do not get a lot of downtime.
That was a complex battle. It went on for so long.
I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes. It felt incredibly long. A lot of StarCraft battles, take place over the course of sometimes like 8 seconds. And it's done. So for fights to be going on for that long and trying to maneuver your army around, trying to figure out the position on the map where you can go. We saw moments Scarlett debated counterattacking and actually pulled that counterattack force back up to try to defend. Identifying perhaps due to her calculus, it wasn't quite enough. So just crazy series. I can't wait to see what's going to happen now in game number 5, which has just loaded up. This is Scarlett versus SOS in the IEM PyeongChang Finals. Introducing our first player in the bottom left, in the blue, from Canada, she is Scarlett. And her opponent here in the upper right, in the red, he is SOS.
SOS off of a win in a very close game. If he can win this one, though, I would say that, the tempo kind of goes to him. He has momentum at that point. To be down 0-3, to be losing game number 4, to be on the brink of defeat after not losing a game, getting to the finals, to come back 2-0, that might rattle Scarlett.
Certainly. Certainly it would, but I'm not giving up hope here on Scarlett just yet. I think she's probably still going to be feeling pretty confident by the way, the variation of victories in the first 3 games, and the fact that, honestly, Artosis, she almost broke SOS's base before SOS started that counterattack. I'm almost more curious, is she going to lean more towards aggression here? Because aggression is what got Scarlett here, and aggression is what got Scarlett 2 wins out of the 3 she already has. Or early on aggression. I mean, I don't see why she should stop.
It's a good point. Like, she's done such a great job with it thus far, even if it's like just minor aggression, right? Just getting a little bit of harassment done, trying to force your opponent onto the back foot. I don't know, though. Sometimes it's smart to play some mind games, to flip it up all the way. Maybe she wants to go for a late game at this point. Maybe she wants to max out with 200 supply army and then go attack.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see here. So far, everything looking pretty ordinary here for SOS, as he's going to be sending out that initial adept to try to get a read and, of course, teching to a Stargate.
She's actually making a lot of Zerglings right now.
Oh, is she? Is she
on the
actually
way?
Try to dart out here?
It might be. A couple Lings going up to chase away that probe as we see. SOS doesn't know exactly how many Zerglings are being made, so you see 4 right there. That's very normal.
But
at this
she can
point
always
in the game.
hide the rest,
That's
which
right.
is the tricky part. And again, it's in a game of incomplete information. This is a lot of times how you want to do it.
Look at that.
Okay,
6 Zerglings getting out before the Adept can see, leaving those initial 4 that SOS already knows about. This is a very complex mind game that we are seeing from Scarlett, who is also getting an evolution chamber, maybe to drop them into the base.
It appears that Scarlett may have effectively duped SOS here. SOS, financially the most accomplished StarCraft 2 player of all time. The entrance to the natural, the second base here for SOS is exposed. Is Scarlett going to be able to run in and possibly start taking out a lot of workers? Yes, she will!
Yeah, she's going to surround this first Adept and get an easy kill right there. That is a huge moment. Going after the pylon now. That will unpower the gateway. No more units would be able to be made. So, of course, SOS coming out with his probes, attacking, but it won't be quick enough.
Power out over at SOS's natural expansion. The Lynx now go in, and it looks like Scarlett's going to try to gear up for a big drop here into the main.
Multiple Overlords being morphed right now for big drops coming in and not able to make any more units. When this Oracle runs out of energy, there's going to be almost nothing left to defend.
Scarlett's continuing to produce more and more Zerglings. She wants to get this closed out right here, right now. The Gateway and the Cybernetics core are powered up again, but Scarlett's trying to chew her way through that position as well.
Oh, the Adepts shade down to try to hold this front entrance, but then the Zerglings break through. They're in the natural right now, trying to kill off all these probes and to drop into the main base.
Scarlett now barreling into the main base. So many workers now being taken out. There's really not much to defend.
Oh my god, the amount of damage here is massive. 8 probes, 9 probes already falling, 11 probes dead. SOS trying to hold on, but he has almost nothing left.
Scarlett now spilling down here into the second base, nothing to defend. SOS scrambling to try to recover this. If SOS cannot hang on and stabilize, he will lose this game.
SOS, these are his last legs. He's standing on more and more Zerglings, flooding up right now. The Oracle's trying to clean up these Zerglings, but the damage is massive.
And it looks like yet another Adept goes down, goes down, allowing these Zerglings to try to spill in. I don't know if SOS can stop this at this point in time, Artosis.
The Oracles are running out of energy. They can't kill anymore. There's almost no probes left over here for SOS. He's trying to stay alive. Another Oracle pops out. If only he can survive here, keep these probes alive.
24 probes now going down. Pretty soon, SOS will have no more workers remaining as his count is down to 5 workers total.
Oh, SOS, if only he could stabilize, but Scarlett has kept this aggression on. Zerglings going after this Nexus, and that is it. GG! Scarlett is the IEM PyeongChang 2018 champion.
Congratulations, Scarlett. Not only did you take down the highest winning StarCraft 2 player of all time, you have finally become a StarCraft 2 champion of an international premier event for the first time in your career. Tell us, what does this moment mean for you?
I almost don't really believe it right now. It took me a minute, like after I won, I'm like, so I get up and get the trophy now? Because I've never won an event like this before, and like recently I wasn't doing very well in tournaments, so it's like all of a sudden.
Well, in this final series against SOS, you just looked so prepared. All the players that you have been facing have talked about your preparation and how it's so difficult to play against you because of that. But SOS is also a player that is known for all of his diverse strategies. So how did you prepare against him?
Again, I was talking with No Regret and Bly. They helped me so much this tournament, so I have to thank them so much. Honestly, it was so sudden. Like the first 2 games, I didn't think I was winning, and then the game just ended. Like he just died. So, and then game 3 was so fast, and it was a break, and I was up 3-0. I'm like, I can't lose from here, can I? So, yeah, I just felt like if I still play aggressive, keep playing aggressive, that he's made me nervous. so I can win from there.
Well, when I talked to you yesterday, you were talking about how 2017, it went so well in practice, but for some reason, it just didn't come through in the events that you played. But we saw the opposite at this event. So what can we look forward to in 2018 from you?
Well, I hope to do good in WCS, try and get to BlizzCon. I haven't made it to BlizzCon, the World Finals, in like 4 or 5 years now. So I really want to get back there. And also GSL is a very important tournament to me. So I hope I do well in GSL, which I actually play this Saturday. So I have to go home and prepare right after this for that.
Well, congratulations again, Scarlett. What a fantastic story from you, and for all the fans that have been cheering for you. Just amazing stuff this week at the Intel Extreme Masters PyeongChang. Guys, if you're at home, make sure to tune in again in 2 weeks as we come back for the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship in Katowice. But until then, from everybody here in PyeongChang, have a wonderful night.
Phenomenal scenes here from the Intel Extreme Masters PyeongChang from South Korea as Scarlett, with a 4-1 victory, takes the championship and is able to claim $50,000. You're joining us here for the post-tournament breakdown as we continue things here from PyeongChang. Gentlemen, Pig, Nathanias, what a win for Scarlett after her road here to take out SOS in the grand final as well. Phenomenal stuff.
It just happened all of a sudden. Her words, you know, this just came out of nowhere. Her performance in this tournament, it's something we haven't seen from Scarlett in a long time. And we've never seen her do that in a grand finals.
Right.
We've sometimes seen her in years past not perform, but here it was just something else. She just took hold of that matchup from the start. To win that against SOS 4-1, that was incredible.
A stunning victory. Just simply amazing. Going into this tournament, you know, Scarlett is a player with a lot of fans. She's great. She's been competing in Korea. Everybody loves her, but she hasn't been winning these championships. She's not been making it into the finals of these tournaments. It's all been about Serral, Alazer, those guys when it comes to the Zerg player, at least in the non-Korean scene. And I didn't have a whole lot of faith in her coming into this tournament. I'm just surprised every single match that she went forward. And then I was like, okay, maybe she's just really good at Zerg versus Zerg. And then getting into this final against SOS, she bullied him. Yes. I was stunned at how well she picked apart the highest earning StarCraft player of all time's defenses every single game. It was amazing.
There you go. There you go. I'll check in with you in a second, guys, as we're going to head over to find out some of the finer details as to what may have gone down here in this grand final. Rotterdam, what a victory for Scarlett.
Wow. Wow, I actually kind of need a moment, James. But amazing finals, amazing best of 7, a lot of really fun games. I mean, especially also the game that SOS won, super close, super tense. It could have ended there. But let's go ahead, let's try to calm down and talk about a couple of the key moments in this final. So let's go ahead. As we have in the first game, I mean, SOS is starting off in an SOA, opens up very aggressive. And I was kind of thinking, this is bad for Scarlett. There's no Roach Warren yet. I mean, it just finished up, but there were no Roaches on the field. That's kind of what I meant. No Bailings yet. And yet, Scarlett only managed to lose 4 drones. And this is what sets her up for that next big attack. And this fight, I mean, it lasted forever, but boss, there is this one moment where it's so close and you're like, can SOS actually hold? Still with the Immortals, warps in 3 Zealots. I think SOS was tired of warping in Zealots, as we can maybe start drawing a little bit. Like, he was warping in here all the time because he didn't want to lose his forces immediately. And at this point, I think SOS thought it's getting so close. If I get these Zealots right here, right now, then maybe I can hold, maybe I can defend. But Scarlett was like, oh, you're going to warp him in right here, right now? Well, these Ravagers got a beautiful spell called Corrosive Bow.
Yeah.
And well, we saw how that played out. I mean, you know, that's...
It's not going to work.
No, I mean, we can unpause it real quick. These Zealots, super important, get picked up immediately. And this is, I think, what allowed Scarlett to win this game. We can hop over. There's so many cool moments as well. But this is the second game. And I think SOS thought, like, hey, I should have done more damage. Let's go Adepts again. This time, Scarlett is so ready. And SOS is like, whoa. I'm not even going to try, but as a Protoss, if you open up with that many Adepts, you kind of do want to try. You want to make something happen.
Yeah.
So even though this looks like, okay, this is kind of even, right? No, this is actually so nice for Scarlett, because you look at the economy, sees ahead, and this is what eventually allows this massive lurker attack.
Very impressive stuff by Scarlett. Being able to, I guess, almost kind of just turn the tables completely on SOS, who's constantly being aggressive himself.
Yep. And once again, we see this thing we've seen all weekend long. Multi-prong attacks, pulling armies out of position. And we can pause the game real quick here. Because of those Hydras, Scarlett was able to move the lurkers that were here before to this area. And obviously, if you have this area, I mean, that then becomes so hard for these forces of SOS to go in here because this is such a little choke point.
Right.
These Ravagers are going to do tremendous amounts of damage. And if your Lurkers get on the ramp, they get that close, it becomes almost impossible for Protoss to hold. So just beautiful play by Scarlett, the multi-prong, the movement, the dynamic gameplay. I mean, I loved it. And how are these units ever supposed to go through this point? Like, you just can't.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's pretty much the end. And this was obviously a key game, right? Let's pause real quick. Because what I loved about the Grand Finals is that obviously we started off with macro-oriented games, you know, feeling each other out. Let's see how you like to play. And then in Game 3, I think it's a perfect moment to bust out a very aggressive build, bring the cheese, as we like to say in StarCraft. And SOS decides to defend in an interesting way. He went for the pylon. This is not normally where you really want to build your pylon, but I can see the mindset behind it. He's like, you know what? This shield battery is going to be great because I am going to pull these probes over here, and then the moment that these links come out one by one, I'm going to fight with my probes, I'm going to take care of the Zerglings, and I'm going to have a very clean defense. But he was simply too late. The links started running around, and I mean, we can just speed this up a little bit. And there is one more key point which I didn't really understand about SOS's defense. As we can just take a look a little bit at this clip. But the Stargate is done. Let's pause real quick, actually, as we take a look at this Stargate. The Stargate is done, but at this point, James, we see that SOS, as we use red for SOS, he builds a Stalker. And I personally didn't really understand that. I don't see what the Stalker really does here. Well, you have a beautiful Stargate. I mean, Zerglings don't fight up. Eventually, like, if you cancel the Stalker, you're very close to the resources to maybe get a Void Ray. Void Ray could have taken care of this. I think this Stalker is bad because soon, if we continue, you even see that there is Chrono Boost being used on the Stargate. But nothing is coming out of it. And I think this was a crucial point of these Grand Finals.
A little bit flustered, you maybe think.
Yeah, I think the pressure, and I mean the final game, this is the last thing. Sorry, James, there was so many cool things. Let's pause the game real quick. Actually, can we go back? Is that possible? Well, maybe.
There we go.
So basically what happened is, once again, two problems, right? Like, it's always easy to deal with one thing, then it is to deal with two things.
Of course.
Scarlett, her Dropper Lords were here, and that meant that the Adepts from SOS, they were standing here, because they're like, you know, I'm going to keep them there. Links come out one by one. The Adepts take care of it one by one, right? Scarlett's like, well, what about your wall? Suddenly, SOS is like, yeah, what about my wall, you know? So he lets the Shade finish, and then obviously, at this point, SOS thinks, I have a full wall of, you know, I have re-walled. Even if this gateway falls, this is a wall. The Adepts, I'm going to be fine. Well, we all saw that he was not fine.
No.
As we can continue the clip. And at this moment, I think there's only one way to describe it. The floodgates are open. And once those links start streaming in, they will never stop.
A masterful position, I suppose, putting SOS in a catch-22 position.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I love the way that Scarlett played it. It's always multiple attacks at once, so dynamic, and eventually there sort of is a re-wall, and this is like the last hope. You're like, can I close the gates one time? Oh, we saw how it ended. This Zealot is in the end not going to be enough. The pylons fall, and like I said, James, the floodgates were open. Amazing final, though. I really loved it.
Oh, thank you very much, Rotterdam. I guess, boys on the desk, a historic moment, really, for someone like Scarlett to be able to take out someone like SOS.
Yeah, we know the history of StarCraft shows that the Korean players have been on the top since the very beginning, since the first StarCraft, and this is a monumental feat to not only have a Canadian player win like this, Scarlett to get her first big championship like this in this era, but to do it in South Korea against one of, if not the best Protoss players that's touched the game.
Representing Canada as well. I'm sure a lot of Canadians back home, Pig, are ecstatic with this victory from Scarlett.
You know, Canada's got a rich history in esports. They've got a lot of great players across many titles. Used to have players like Huck in StarCraft 2. Scarlett, she's been holding that torch for Canada for a while. And there have been so many fans over there just saying, oh, she's been so close so many times. Now she's up there holding up that trophy, and it's got to be a great feeling, not just for the fans, but obviously for Scarlett herself. This is a great victory for her.
Indeed, indeed. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, here for joining me at the desk. And thank you very much, of course, to everybody joining me at home for the Intel Extreme Masters PyeongChang. And thank you overall. As we lead up to the Winter Olympics, make sure to tune into those, and make sure to tune into the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice in 2 weeks' time.